Hello, it's Waffle Wednesday. I'm your host, Terrence. Today, we have a very special guest. One I'm very excited to have. Um, Been a very good, close personal friend of mine for a long time. You've probably seen his work on. Can I name the places you've worked and things you've done? It's okay? All right. So you've probably seen his work with such things and brands of like Ray-Ban.
Oh,
Uh, yeah. ESPN. You heard of them? Yeah. Disney doesn't just mess around. And honestly, to the people who watch this, if this show does any sort of like not big numbers, but just some numbers, like a double digit number, we might be able to get Mark on more consistently. But that's what I've convinced myself, which is really my goal. Um, so it has been a bi-weekly since I have last done a podcast. Apologies. It is the beginning of the school year for me. I am in education, so that poses a little bit of difficult time. As you can relate, right? As a father of two,
absolutely.
riveting stuff, Mark.
I thought you were going to do a
So
whole introduction and then I'm going to talk. I'm trying to get out of your way.
yeah,
Do you
okay.
want me to
Let's
step all over you?
let's take two.
Take two.
Welcome. It's Waffle Wednesday. Today we are lucky enough to have a guest, not in the studio, in the small box to my right, uh, in his home studio, a artist, a musician, a husband, a father, a lover, a friend. Everyone, welcome Mark Paris.
Yeah, wow.
Insert audio clapping. How good
You
was that?
forgot to mention a former week feature act as a comedian.
I'm so, I'm sorry. Also, you. I mean, people would just know from the way that you conduct yourself that you're a comedian. You're just nonstop laughter. Um, so I really wanted to, really the reason that I had to bring up the comedy. I really want to play into the artist part of your life for a little bit here. Because art is becoming, not becoming, it's a dumb thing to say. Art right now is at the forefront of the discussion of AI, or as my parents call it, AL sometimes, and sometimes they call it IA. Um, Both times I know what they're talking about. But you have as an artist, I kind of want to pick your brain about where you think sort of physical art is going, digital art is going, and then I also want to just kind of talk to you about why we're focusing AI on creative. Shouldn't it be like cleaning the streets and like doing the things we don't want it to do? So that's all
um,
on today's show.
I think we'll have some AI cleaning the streets, but I think that tasks that require a body are a lot more difficult to accomplish for a computer. Um, I think the image generation aspect of this whole thing is fascinating. And the way that they're going about it is wrong. I think they're starting very broadly, and maybe if they're going to get somewhere, they need to start being more niche. There was a lot of interest in the early parts of AI coming out when Mid Journey. Are you familiar with the platforms? Like, if I say Mid
No,
Journey, do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but it doesn't mean that I mean, I'm probably the dumbest person who watches this.
That's great, though. Do you know what an LLM is?
Sure. Yep. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So there's obviously a lot of different areas to this. There's large language models, which is like Chat GPT and Claude. And then
Yeah.
everybody's got their own, there's Gemini and all this stuff. And if you work in any sort of corporation, I don't know if they're doing this in the school system, but that's like a forced adoption of AI. I'm imagining that that's not the case in the right.
No, I don't work for them. Um, uh, We'll have to cut that part out.
Okay. Do you cut parts out of your podcast?
Not typically, but I will cut that out because I don't want. Mm-mm. We don't need those circles in the Venn diagram touching. Anyway, not why we're here. No, you are right. In education, we're not seeing the thing that we're seeing in education, of course, is probably the Chat GP. I'm turning to my parents. The language model that you were talking about, where students are using it to write papers or try to find answers to exams. And I'll be honest, I think teachers are starting to phone it in a bit on the lesson plans and even, unfortunately, some IEP writing and things like that when it comes to. But we also encourage to use it um, to jazz things up. So I don't know if that
So
answers
I
your question.
I think that probably to frame this situation appropriately would be to say that I've been in the design industry for 20 years. I've been a motion designer for 15 years, meaning that I animate. So I make things move, and I started out with 2D animation, and then I went into 3D animation, and then I've been doing 3D animation for about 10 years. And I just got laid off because of AI. So I got laid off about 2 months ago because the company that I worked for, which specialized in personalized video, they made a text to video tool. And that's what they put all their chips behind. They want to replace the creative department. So about a year ago, they started ramping up a lot of AI generated videos that express to customers that you could cut out the studio, cut out the work of doing an After Effects file, and just go straight from a salesperson to a video. And I think that that's an interesting proposition, but I think that the salesperson doesn't have any experience making videos or making art. And so you're running into a real problem of curation and taste. And I think we're going to see that in a lot of painful situations over the next year, maybe 2 years. I don't know, where they're just going to be trying to shortcut past creative, as if creative is just about doing the technical work and it's not about doing the work of studying and understanding framing videos, aspect ratios, concepts, selling a story. Most of the painful part of my job over the last 5 years has been trying to sell a customer. And we're talking big customers like huge banks, giant hospitals. I don't want to name them, but I had to go in and pitch them creative and then get them to sign off on it. And oftentimes it's several layers of compliance, and it's a theme that I might need to sell them on. And all this stuff needs to be accomplished for any of these videos to get approved and put out into the public, and then hopefully have a ROI return on people clicking on the video or watching it all the way through. And so I think the excited nature of people are that people who have no technical ability can now generate art, or to generate art. I do think it's going to probably fall back into being a tool, but I am seeing a lot of interesting and shocking ways that people are generating content right now that do seem to cut out a lot of work. And I even think like this app that you're using for this podcast saves a lot of time that would probably be an editor, or you would have to learn how to use editing software, the way that they can generate captions really quickly, or they can edit out spaces. And a lot of this stuff is extremely useful. But I think that what everybody is having an adverse reaction to is the way that they combed the internet and took all the art from all the art websites, from all the artists without their consent or approval, and then are allowing
Yeah.
people to generate art in their style, without consulting the artist. I think that maybe there's a happy medium where an artist could license their work to an AI model voluntarily and then get paid royalties. That would be cool. But
Yeah.
um,
Well,
yeah.
you've hit on a lot of stuff there, and so I want to make sure that I want to circle back to something that you touched on when we talk about sort of the business model of it, and that is that like, and again, I by no means run any Fortune 500 companies, and I'm not in the creative, but from the layman side, right, the very novice side point, I would say the creative departments aren't bleeding companies dry financially. Is that correct? I mean, you aren't the large budget piece that would solve a lot of business model overhead.
I mean, just from a headcount perspective, it's expensive to maintain a studio. Now, in the company that I just worked for, it was a little tech startup, so it was like 70 people. So if you had, 10 people in the studio that, or a bunch of project managers, that would be a big expense for them. Um, I think that a lot of studios, like companies like Coca-Cola and stuff, they have internal, but they go to studios externally to get some of their bigger budget things done. And it's it seeing everybody's adverse reactions to those kind of commercials, like when Coca-Cola made their ad out of AI, is a bit encouraging. I think that there is generally like a blanketed kind of aversion to seeing that sort of animation. And I think it's hard to pin down why, but it's
I mean,
just
I think, well, I have an idea here. I think that there might be a theory to this, and that is that it is hard to connect with even images that may look like you or look like someone you know or resemble the human form. But for me, art has always been something that I view as like a personal thing that I connect to. Whether it is historic, oh my gosh, that's what people look like, or whether it's something that's moved me, like the Sagrada Familia. All of these things had a personal relationship with me. I wonder, and this is just me speaking, because I just don't have that personal relationship when it comes to AI.
Yeah, I think that probably if you used it as a tool and you found a way for it to express your voice, it might be able to do that. I think that art is always about self-expression, and if there isn't a person behind it, that loses a lot of meaning. And
Yeah.
I heard Ethan Hawke have like a great quote about poetry, about how most people probably don't read poetry or think about poetry that often, but then a spouse passes away or you lose a child, and then you find yourself in great despair, and then you find yourself looking for other people who might have experienced this and been able to articulate these feelings, and you get a sense of warmth and total humanity by reading the poetry of people that might have gone through such suffering. And so in that case, art becomes a necessity, not even just something that you can casually observe, but something that might be able to pull you out of, the depths of a negative humanity that you're experiencing.
Yeah.
And I
And
think
even
that,
when we
yeah,
look at it, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Well, thank you. You're very kind. I think even when we look at things like marketing or like adverts, right? So taking it back to the business kind of thing, there's still that personal relationship. When commercials that stick out in my head are like when we talk about Coca-Cola, the Christmas time with the Santa or the trucks or whatever era that they're doing it in. You can look back at a commercial and see what it was possibly like to view things in the 1970s or the 1980s. You get what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I think that with AI, even we talked about this before when it came to cartoons, is that there's a stylistic, the old X-Men, where the old X-Men cartoons, what, era that was. It had that stylistic kind of thing. AI doesn't have it because it's so generic, right? I mean, in my opinions, right? So all this is my opinion, of course, but I think that the
So,
genericness of it doesn't allow for people to want to hold on to it.
right. So earlier, one of the things I touched on is that it's too broad. So
Mm,
when it's trying to distill down, all the imagery of the entire internet, and then the person who's typing in their message doesn't have the articulation or the understanding to express that they wanted this sort of style, then you're just going to end up with what they call slop, which is just
hmm
sort of low effort. And so all that stuff starts to look the same. And so I think that what these companies that are using it, or people who are using it, or marketing agencies, if they don't find a way to silo out like a certain look, then it's all going to look the same. And then an important thing about products, which is, I think that we're talking about two different things, because there's art and then there's marketing, right? And there's design. And I think that there's a separation there because of the intention of the work. But I think both are going to suffer from not being able to, being low effort, because they're going to all start to look together. And I think differentiation
Mm.
is important in art and in marketing, because people's eyes gloss over something that they've seen a million times.
I completely. I don't want to be nitpicky here. I just think it's interesting. Because we've had lots of conversations about what is art. Because we have a friend who will look at,
Yeah,
especially postmodern art, and just go, I could do that. Then why didn't you? But anyway, you just kind of made a comment that because it had a different purpose with marketing tools or marketing products, it wasn't art, or am I
yeah,
misunderstanding that?
yeah. I agree with that statement.
I would say like Coca Cola. I think some of the one of the fun things is looking through Coca Cola art, and I do think that that kind of stuff is art, logos and branding and all that sort of stuff. I do think is art,
I
right?
don't,
Because it
I
came from
don't
a creative
categorize it
place.
as, I don't categorize that as art. Because the intention for it wasn't art. It wasn't art for art's sake. There's artistic elements in all those things, absolutely.
So,
And you know, when you're,
are sneakers not art, or just the
no, I don't.
marketing of sneakers?
Um, I don't know that. I think sneakers can be art. I think people have made sneakers into art, but I don't think that like a corporation manufacturing a sneaker to sell to people is a piece of art. No, I think that's like a functional, good-looking, designed thing for people to purchase. But I wouldn't categorize it as art necessarily. But I could be wrong. I mean, but that's my opinion as of right now.
Yeah, right. It's you're not looking at postmodern stuff and saying it's trash. So don't worry. I don't think too
Well,
many
you know,
people
you
want
could
your
go backwards and say, like, what about a commissioned painting by Michelangelo? You know, is that art?
right. I
You
mean,
know,
I think
so
we,
I think that could be tested in a lot of different ways. Absolutely.
right. I don't want our stroke to be too broad here.
Broad strokes, buddy. I, I think that that's like a jingle. Like you make a jingle for a farmer insurance versus you like make a song, that you just want
I'll tell
to
you right
express
now,
your feelings.
and I'm not even saying this for a laugh or anything. That farmer's jingle is better than most modern music I've heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the kids seem to like to repeat it a lot.
I bet you can.
My,
I bet you can do it right now.
we are farmers. No, but
Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
they love
Yeah.
liberty.
See.
Adeline, she's like 3, and she's like, liberty, liberty.
Yeah. So I think that's art.
I don't,
I
I
see. I
don't, I
think.
don't think so,
Do you
because
think?
they're not trying to express something. They're trying to get a jingle stuck in your head so that when you go to shop for insurance, you get farmers. I don't. I think
Sure.
there's an art to it.
Okay.
That's I think
What
it's
if?
still
All
gonna.
right. What about? I know I'll get back to AI. I promise. What about theme songs for TV shows? Are those
I
art?
think I don't think so. No.
Oh my gosh, dude! I should have vetted you as a guest before I had you on. What are you
Now,
saying right
now,
now?
now, if your TV show took a song that already existed, then maybe I could consider it art.
I should have told you this before we hit record. You don't have to say spicy things just for content, man. Like we can all say that the Family Matters, Step by Step, are all those are Perfect Strangers. You're gonna tell me Perfect Strangers isn't a fantastic just song? Golden Girls,
I'm
Golden
not
Girls.
disputing that these aren't phenomenal songs. These are all phenomenal songs that have a warm place in my heart. And I think the people that made them, it was made by artists. But the
Yeah.
artist was given a creative brief that they needed to execute on, and they executed on that versus just making art for art's sake.
What if? Okay, let me ask you this. What if this is just a prop? What if the song was already made and then the show?
That's what I just, yeah.
Used it.
If it was, yeah, that's totally fine. Then
Oh, you already said that? I wasn't listening.
you probably ended up, I mean, it would be painful for me to say that the Game of Thrones intro is not art, you know? I mean, it's just such a beautiful piece of work. Uh, and it has a lot of artistry in it, the sculpting, the animation, the pacing, the score to it. I mean, it's just phenomenal. We watch it out of respect every time. You know, we just watched the House of the Dragon finale, and we
Do you
had to
just watch
watch
the
the
theme song
intro.
on repeat? Just
When
over and
I
over
tried to
again.
skip it one night, and then Althea said, "You're disrespecting your art field. You need to, you're disrespecting your field of work."
I'm glad she stuck up for artists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think in this realm of AI, you know, you were saying clean the street. Would you say it was expected that AI would replace coding? And is that an okay thing to replace?
No, no. I mean, I use what I was kind of saying is that I think when we all, as what I don't know what generation we are, or older people, um,
Millennials,
are
elder
we
millennials.
millennials?
Yeah.
Elder millennials, okay. So I think when we were fantasizing about what the future would be and what sort of AI would look like and things like that, I don't think we envisioned that they would be taking creative jobs and writing songs. That at least for me, right? Maybe Adam was short sighted and
No,
didn't understand
that's a
for you.
sentiment that's, you know, been expressed a lot, that like you wanted it to like wash your dishes so that you could make art, not make art so you could wash dishes.
Right, the Jetsons, right? Like we wanted things to make your life easier. Everything was going to be a push button. It just didn't become that, and I think I'm like you said, a lot of people are scratching their heads, going, "How did we get?" I mean, corporate greed, but um, can we stop it?
I think that this, we're speculating on this, and this is way above my, you know, what I know and what I've even looked into. But for me, for people who might know who Ray Kurzweil is and understand the thought process on the singularity, which I got back here on my little shelf. And I was really into that for a long time, about the singularity is supposed to come in 2040, where technology advances at a J curve rapid pace so fast that we can't keep up with it. And he still says we're on pace for that to happen. So, you know, they're taking massive investments. I think all the big firms just dropped $500 billion to give it to NVIDIA. And the collateral for that is chips. And they're using the chips for AI. And it's all in this AI arms race. And I'm seeing new tools come out on a daily basis that I can't even keep up with it anymore. It is getting to
Mm-hmm.
that pace. But one of the big questions I have is whether or not we can get true generalized intelligence. You know, they call it a GAI, which, and right now we don't have that yet, like a sort of a sentient being inside of a computer or a black box that can really think and reason deeply as like a human. And that's not what's happening right now. Right now, it's still kind of in this procedural algorithmic way of thinking that's not, that I wonder if it'll ever actually get there. I thought that it always could. So early on, I was very concerned about it, but now I'm starting to doubt that the machine can get there unless we dramatically change the approach. And maybe it's just around the corner and something happens. There's a aha moment, and then we create GAI. And if we do, I think there's an extreme moral dilemma for doing that, because now you've created sort of a being that's trapped inside of a box that's like doesn't have, you know, arms and legs or a biology. And I think that there's like a moral problem with having that be accomplished. And I think that they'll probably hide it from us for a while, and we'll probably dispute about whether or not it's actually gained sentience or intelligence for long enough for, you know, something really bad to happen. But I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. And what I've been seeing is shocking, and it is a little worrying. We have a lot of discussions now about whether my job's replaced permanently. I don't think so yet, but who knows?
That has to be. And I think the most ridiculous thing in all of this when we would talk is that not only had AI kind of replaced your job and you caused the layoff inside of the company, but then the barrier to getting through the vat of resumes and applications was itself AI.
Can I talk about that for a second?
I would love for you to talk about that.
Am I going too heavy into it? Anyway, I'll just blab.
Good, dude. The 10 people who have been watching this
It just
maybe
dropped to
lost.
8.
Oh, gosh. We lost John Kelly.
We lost. Actually, he might be one that's hanging on.
Nah, he would
Um,
be the only one hanging on, I think.
yeah, so I don't know largely if I haven't been inside LinkedIn and I haven't had to look for a job for a long time, but I heard that it was really bad. And so the question was, is like, am I going to send out 200 resumes? Am I going to spend 8 to 9 months looking for a job and never get one? And like, I'm not going to, there's a lot of better people out there at my job than me, but like I've accomplished like a good amount that I thought it would look okay. But apparently, every remote job or even a local jobs have 150 resumes. Full remote have 800 to 2,000 resumes coming in on it, and these are from all over the globe. And oftentimes, a lot of the people aren't even qualified. Oftentimes, a lot of the people are lying. And so people that are in the HR departments are having to turn to tracking systems to comb through these. Or I've experienced some interviews where they got everybody that they could to interview people. So I was interviewing with a lawyer, not even an HR person or a person in the department. And I don't blame them. And then, so I think what's happening is that if somebody has a referral and that HR person doesn't have to go through 800 resumes, but they can get a guaranteed good person in the door, I think recruiting and having a person in or cold DMing people is worth more than submitting 200 resumes, because I've submitted 250. I tried to tailor them to AI. I tried to make sure that they don't look like AI. And then on them, you have to say that you love AI. And that you use it all the time. But then behind closed doors, corporations are saying, don't use AI because we're worried about getting sued down the road. So I haven't been able to use it on an actual corporate gig. And then they're asking me to prove that I've used it on a corporate gig. Well, that's just not the case, because nobody wants it or wants to use it, or they're scared of it. So it's a big mess being created by all that. And I think that LinkedIn on part needs to do something about it. I don't know that individual companies that are just looking for workers can do much about it. I think we're in a holdout. I think we needed regulation, and we have the wrong administration for that. I think we needed regulation last year, 2 years ago, and we needed it fast. And right now, they're just kind of unshackling everything so that corporations can make as much money as possible. And that's going to be really bad. I mean, I know we're in an arms race with China, but like, I don't think that we should just be throwing everything out, the baby's out with the bathwater.
Yeah, I mean, and we're going to lose that race. I mean, they've got a billion people times two. That's a lot of arms.
Well, they can also focus their efforts unilaterally on it. Okay, I hear you. I missed your joke.
The best part of that joke is that you just were like, no, I really want to answer this about the Chinese arms. Like, I want you to know.
I was
I
getting
want you to
real
know
into
how
this.
serious this is. I feel like you're Michael Scott coming in from the dentist with the magazine, you know? Do you know
Hey.
that China's on the rise? They don't. Yeah, I've heard of them. It's a couple billion people or something. Um, so yeah, it's kind of scary out there, I'm sure, for anyone in the job market, because I'm sure that not just creatives are dealing with that barrier when it comes to applications or being hired.
Yeah, and I have a good friend who ran a program where they trained people to code all across Kentucky, and they shuttered it, because they couldn't place junior roles. And so I think that we're going to experience a couple waves of the impact of all this. And I think one of them is going to be is that we don't have any juniors that are learning to become mid-level and then seniors. We're cutting them out and we're using AI. And, whereas I made like decent scratch making silly posters for a long time, or making logos or flyers for people. And you can accomplish a lot of that in ChatGPT for $10. And I'm sad for all the young juniors that need to get out all this bad design habits like early on. And I don't know where they're going to do that at. And so same with coders. I've heard that they started bringing coders back in to start off the code good and then give it over to the AI, or
Mm.
have them come in and fix the bad code from the AI. And then if you want good coding from it, you have to pay more money. And there's like a lot of factors to this that, for people like us, and I'm in the industry to a degree, but it's like confusing. what's happening. And it's confusing to see so many resumes go out without any, interest. Versus anytime I get in a room and I talk to a human, they're very excited and they think the work is great. But I
Yeah.
mean, it's understandable that there's like 400 resumes. Like maybe you'll never see mine. And I think the biggest one was I formerly worked at ESPN and I submitted to them right away. But I found out that none of them saw my resume. So the automatic tracking system got rid of my resume, and it said ESPN on it. And it's because it kind of lacks this sort of total knowledge of your work and your abilities. And it looks for these little keywords. And so if you don't have the little keywords in there, it throws it out. And so there's probably been 15 new programs that have been invented in the last 3 years that I've never had to use. If I don't write those on my resume, I don't know that it'll ever see a person. So you just, you lie and say, I know all these things because I can learn them in a week. But if I don't write that I know all of the video codecs on my resume, but like I'm a 20-year, video editor, animator, I know all the codecs, duh, because I've been in the industry for 20 years. But it's a
Yeah.
it's a real mixed up situation for sure.
Sorry, I think the aesthetically looks better with the prop mic.
Is that a
Just I'm
prop
sitting here.
mic?
It is at the moment. I mean, it's got a cord and stuff. I just don't have it plugged in to the camera that I'm using because I'm not using my computer because the camera sucks. Um, Dang it! I had a good question for you. It
Do
was a
you
fire. Oh, I got it. And you may not be able to answer to this one. Um, Shoot, it just fell in my head again. Something about AI and go ahead. You had a question. Go ahead.
what you think people want to sit around and listen to an AI DJ? Speaking of recent events,
No, I don't. I think that it would serve a purpose in some capacity, but I don't think that it would replace the DJ. What recent events are you talking?
talking about you DJing.
I'm not AI, Mark. I'm a real boy.
I know. I'm just saying, like that job.
Oh, oh, you're saying that? Am I concerned that people are going to want to be? No, I'm not concerned about that because no one has the same taste as your boy
Well, you're
DJ
feeling the
Kid
crowd,
Show.
right? You're feeling the crowd around you,
No, no,
seeing
no,
where
no.
the vibes are
I'm
going.
the
You
most
just you're
selfish
just
DJ
powering,
of all time. Just
just
whatever I want to
beating
hear.
people
I don't
down with
care.
whatever you want to hear. Yeah.
They're like, why did we hear Nat King Cole and then King Giz and Lizard Wizard? But it didn't even make sense.
See, I wouldn't do that.
I play. Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't. But that's the charm is that you might hear DJ Newmark's swing set from Jurassic 5's debut album. By the way, I did play that Friday night. You
Oh,
missed it.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I tried to play. I play a Qbert track as well.
What's a Qbert track?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look and see what I played, but
Got a lot of
it was
scratching on
like
it.
a it was like a 45-second kind of like in between.
I was thinking about that guy because he came up on my feed that he's just been scratching all these years. He's still scratching.
Is he?
He got that. Yeah, he's on there teaching people to scratch still. I mean,
I
he found his thing. He's not abandoning.
I love it. So since we're talking about music, we can start talking about this. I After having a conversation with our friend, I really looked into this Serato slab, and I think I might, no pun intended, pull the trigger.
This slab is like the DAW that they have to make music,
It's more like an MPC.
right? So it's like for making tracks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're already abandoning the Ableton.
No, I'm not banning the Appleton, the
You could have so
Ableton.
many toys now, dude.
I know. It's what's nice. It's called being a dink.
Your studio's gonna look pretty packed out. I like it. You're gonna just be surrounded. You need like a mixing
I'm
board.
well, what I'm gonna get is like that Phil Collins complete circle, like spinny everywhere I go. I can just hit something. Page McConnell has it too, kind of with his organs and keys. But yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in on all the toys. I
Yeah, he
want
was
them
showing
all.
me that new mixer that he got. They're gotten so crazy.
Yeah, so for the audience out there, yeah, a friend of ours has a new setup where, and for DJs, you've probably had to take a laptop, mixer, your tables, all that stuff, and now they have it just all in one. They just have and it has like a digital flip screen or something. I mean, not flip screen, just a digital screen where you can pull up Serato and everything. It's just crazy,
I'm going
insane.
old school. That's all I got back here. The 1200s. Still worth something on
Hey
eBay,
man,
I think.
that's awesome. Gotta get you over. We gotta jam out some music.
Absolutely. Although,
Yeah.
although I am employed now, to your scared audience, I do have a job. I found
Oh
one.
yeah.
So your boy's going to be okay for a while, a little while.
Selling ass.
I'm on OnlyFans right now. I'm just showing my raw
Mo-
ass, just getting screwed by AI. Just zooming in on it, extra with a microscope, and that's art. That's art.
that is art. Is OnlyFans art?
um, maybe, maybe.
I mean, I'm sure. Well, I mean, there's probably some people on there who are artists, but I mean, like when we talk about like OnlyFans models, do you think they are artists?
Um, that's you know what I'm gonna have to let that. I'm gonna have to do some deep research into that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to let Althea know why I'm doing that research, but I'll let her know it's
Yeah,
very important to the Waffle Wednesday audience base whether I find out that OnlyFans models are artists. I don't really know what's going on OnlyFans. I just have never been on there. I am aware of what it is, but I would imagine that there's a lot of different niches of things on there, and I bet
sure.
some
I,
of
I
them
guarantee
fall
you.
under the realm of art.
I think a lot from just you see those little sad stories every once in a while about like the guy who paid $1 million to like take the OnlyFans model out to dinner.
Yeah,
Um, that kind of sad stuff. So I guess it's just kind of like you just kind of pay him money to maybe send videos or do stuff. I don't
I
know. Not like
believe I
in
believe that
the
there
real
is a
world.
I think that the relationship element's a big part of it. I think that people
Yeah,
want to contact and have interactions with these people, which is another thing that probably AI is doing to these sad, lonely people. I say people, but it's like largely men, I'm sure.
so one crazy thing I heard about AI, and I'm glad that you just brought that up, is that there have been several cases of people who've had like psychosis
Mm.
and ended up themselves because of the psychosis. That AI has like convinced them. The last lady was convinced that she was like a prophet or something, and so then she like thought she could do a miracle.
That's why you never AI alone. You should always AI in groups. And what I don't know what kind of regulations they need to put on this stuff, but I think that one of the big backlashes against ChatGPT was that they were willing to let their AI help figure out who to kill on the battlefield. And I abandoned the platform after they did that deal with the government after Anthropic said that they would refuse to do that, and they got lost their contract. And so I think these guardrails, like we said, regulation, we need them.
Look at my face right now. I'm clearly out of the loop on this one. What do you mean Chat GPT is doing what now? They're telling people how to kill other people on Battlefield?
Yeah, it's like to discern who is an enemy and who is not, and how to target people and things like that. So, Anthropic decided that it was kind of against the ethos of their company, and they bowed out on that. And I can't remember if it was specifically a deal with the Pentagon, but then ChatGPT, Sam Altman or whatever. I don't even know if he's still with GPT, but they kind of stepped up and took the place of that. And it's weird. I've been seeing a lot of these robots with guns, and you start thinking about AI and little drones carrying explosives, and it starts to feel very Black Mirror ish. It feels like
Mm-hmm.
we're in that space right now.
Does
Not too far fetched.
no, no, not at all. That is very scary when the government is hiring out AI to just kind of not carry out the dirty work, but to point out the dirty work. Because there's a whole level of like that wasn't me. That wasn't even a human. That was just a mistake. And then you can be detached from that. You can escape accountability from that, I think. That's scary.
Well, you couple that with flock cameras and things like that are aggregating systems, and we have to have this assumption that whoever's behind those systems is morally pure, and of course that's not the case, and so that's
It's
where
not the case.
you get cops stalking their exes or stalking women or whatever, what have you. Somebody's going to be back there that's going to make the bad call.
Right. And I think one thing that has been really great is people chopping down flock cameras. And I also think this content on TikTok, there is a person who follows workers for Flock Camera. I forgot the name of the company that it is. But he follows them around, and then they end up calling the police. And they're like, "Why are you following this guy?" And they're like, "Oh, what? You don't want to be followed around? You don't want people to know where you are? You don't want to know people what you're doing?" It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's surveillance states are always fun.
They're not. They're not, Mark. Okay.
Speaking of China, and I appreciate China and everything they've done, and I will never speak ill about China.
I'm just going to leave that whole topic alone because I think if you say either way, you're in trouble. I think if you.
I still need to get in that country to see my family. So
That's true. I just would like to go there to visit.
well, there's some
I'd like to
dope
see the.
stuff over there.
I'd like to see some Avatar mountains.
The Avatar Mountains are great. Beijing's killer. Now, are you going to
Sometimes when I get,
come? Now you have to come and join me on Time Guesser Daily. I get to
I
plug
would love to.
my own 10-person podcast that I have. They're going to start doing battles. I'm friends with the creator, and that you can come on and we'll battle.
Was some name drop.
Yeah,
I'm friends with the creator.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
don't even worry about it. I got the
That's
inside scoop.
battle mode is coming.
Would love to. I don't think you realize how good I am at that game.
I don't. I would love to see how good you are at it. You could
I'm very
also
good at it.
just join and help me with the daily. That would also be fun. We don't have to be enemies.
Oh, you mean like help you guess the clues? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. Guess them together.
Do we all have the same one? Did
Yeah,
we all do the same one the same day?
yeah. So the daily is there's one where it's just random, and then the daily is a curated one that's new every day. So
There
we've
was
been.
an app for a bit.
They still got the app. I
I
think
think
it's
I just
easier
stopped
to
playing
do
it.
on the computer. I need more of that. I need that screen space, but they're
Never
starting
done
to
it
make it
on the
hard.
computer.
They're starting to make it harder, on purpose. Yeah.
You still doing Wordle?
No, Wordle. Do people still Wordle?
I don't think so. That was huge, man. That was huge for a while.
I was pretty obsessed for a long time with that game.
Everybody was. I had a Wordle group. I was in like a chat group of just like Wordle. Like people would be like, "Oh man, today let's talk about it after everybody's done."
That was back when the iPhone was cute. Now it's
Yeah,
not cute anymore.
it is not. No
You can
phone is.
when you're playing Time Guesser, you can see like what age it is by the phones, and so if they're like recording like this, then it's a tiny phone, it's like in the past, and then it starts to mix where people start filming like this, and then you see the phone just become this mutated like huge phone that has like three eyes show up, and it's like, I remember that game where you used to land planes and you would just sit around
Yeah,
and land planes.
100%, 100%.
Now you
All of
get
us
on
would
there and
do it
it's
at the
just doom
same
scroll.
time. We would just land those planes all in that basement all afternoon.
Dude,
Loved landing those planes.
that
That's
was
like
a good
2008.
doodle jump, doing all that sort of
I
stuff.
didn't really.
Which,
I didn't mess with Doodle Jump like that. It wasn't really my thing.
well, now those things, and I don't know the last time you've been to like a kid's arcade, but all those like early iPhone games are giant arcades now that kids play.
That's pretty cool.
Like
I
Crossy
like that.
Road, you remember that one where you're like, it's just basically Frogger. You're just crossing the street like forever.
No, no, I'm a hexa jump kind of guy. I like
Hexa
puzzle
jump,
games.
uh,
Yeah,
cut the rope. Monument
tie the
Valley.
knot thing. I do the knot one. I do that sometimes. I do this one
You
number
might
game that's pretty fun. You have to get to 10. And you have to touch the
you'd have to
numbers. They have to be touching. And they have
you're gonna
to,
have
they
to
have to
share
get at the 10.
these addictive games with me. By the way, Fredo and I both bought a game called The Big Walk, and I think that's what it's called, and it's on sale right now. And we're all gonna get together and play it. You should get it too. Brand new.
Okay. For what system?
Like Steam or whatever system you got. I think you can get it for, and it's cross-platform. I think.
What is Steam? What are you talking about?
Terrence. Oh,
I'm talking
Terrence.
about, is it on PlayStation or Xbox? Like, what are we doing here? Are we doing computer
Steam is
games?
the Steam is on computers, but they also have their own system. But yeah,
So you have to, so I can just get on the computer? I can just go steam.com and get it?
you could,
And
or you could just
it's
get it
called The
on
Long
Xbox
Walk.
or PlayStation. I think it's
Is it
called Big
modeled after a
Walk.
movie?
It's a game where you do
Different.
puzzles with your friends, and you can. It has like proximity hearing, and they have all these fun puzzles where like they take away your ability to talk, so your characters have to like write stuff to communicate to each other. And I think it would be very funny, especially with like you and Fredo, and a couple of our other friends would be quite hilarious. I think
I would concur. I sign me up.
if we can get together for one night, it seems impossible these days.
Oh, I'm gonna wait. You're not going to string cheese tomorrow?
What string cheeses tomorrow? No,
No. I've gotten
is it at
several texts from people.
It's in Iroquois or
Iroquois.
something? Man, I hope that thing does all right. I hope it doesn't get thunderstormed out
I hope so too.
because I'm doing like the big back to school bash, and I'm trying to recruit for our Cub Scout pack, and I got all the stuff, and it's supposed to thunderstorm like right at 6 when it starts. So I'm hoping all that blows past.
But I'm hoping that for you too,
I
and
hope
I'm
you
hoping
guys
that
have a.
lots of kids get excited about the Boy Scouts.
It would be nice if we could get like 6 kids or something. That would be enough, I think.
Um, if you, I've just starting finishing up Lone Australia. Speaking of camping,
The
it's pretty
lone
awesome.
Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, all the Australian people who are in New Zealand.
Do they talk about that at all?
Yeah,
Or is it
every episode they do a whole thing about how they're respecting the Maori tribe and the tradition and stuff. It's actually quite nice.
I
I
thought
do have
about
to give it
throwing
up.
it on last night, so I need to get to that.
It's good. It's good. I didn't realize how diverse that like New South Wales was, like in the southwest.
Yeah, from the top to
It's
the
different.
bottom.
Well, they're saying that it's like the wettest. It's one of the wettest places on earth.
Really? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it gets like
Like
400 inches of rain
like
a year.
swampy, or is it like rainforest?
Rainforest, some parts, swampy, some parts, beach, some parts,
What's like some
mountainous,
what's a big game thing for them to snatch? And
red-tailed deer,
oh, they got red-tailed deer.
possums,
New Zealand possums.
trout, salmon. I learned
So
this new
same
technique. Yeah, kind of the same. Well, it's Pacific Ocean, isn't it?
in it. They but they don't have to worry about like any sort of big predators, right? There's like no. Are there bears in
I
New
mean,
Zealand?
no, I don't think so. Not, at least not where they are. They haven't seen any. I'm sure that there's like some reptiles they should probably keep their eyes out on. I mean, there might be like a cougar or a puma or something. I don't know. They haven't seen any.
I I doubt it. Down on that island down there, I bet there's nothing on that.
I,
I'm gonna have to look
they
into that.
haven't seen any so far. I don't mean to spoil it for you, but they haven't really.
Yeah, I
Um,
just because a huge marsupial or something.
it's been a fun watch. I've enjoyed it.
Guess I'll check
People
it
are
out.
really impressive what they can do.
I
I learned a
agree.
new
I
technique.
Speaking of Boy Scouts, I feel really sad when I watch those people surviving outside about how pathetic my ability to survive out there would be.
They dedicate their whole lives to it, man. Like I wouldn't.
For sure.
That'd be like me trying to compare me drawing an elephant to your elephant. That's not the same thing.
Hey, why?
You've dedicated your life to elephants.
Pachyderms, indeed.
Yeah,
What were you gonna
I was
say?
gonna say something. I don't know. It's
You
right there on the
learned
tip of my
something.
tongue again. I have learned. Oh, I learned something about the fishing. So I do like to fish, but I don't usually keep my catch. I usually release, catch and release, unless I'm deep sea fishing, and that's a whole different thing. But anyway, you can bleed a fish, or I think they called it bleeding it maybe. But basically, you make a cut in it and you let it drain all its blood, and it helps preserve the meat of the fish for longer, and it
Mm.
helps eliminate bacteria because the blood's all gone. I mean, it makes perfect sense. But I was like, oh yeah. And then I reached out to a guy who does a lot of fishing, and he was like, yeah, of course that's the thing. And I was like, all right, man, sorry, you didn't tell me about it.
All right, you can do that after you bash their head with a rock.
It's just no one's doing that.
Well, what do? You gotta hit it with a club. What do you do when you get the fish and you gotta quickly kill it, right? Or do you keep it
What are you
alive
what are
in
you
a?
what are you talking about?
You're bleeding it out, right? So you're gonna store the fish somewhere. You're not bleeding it out while it's alive, are you?
No, probably not. No.
Yeah. So what do you do to kill the fish when you get it? Because
I
they
mean,
always hit it with
cut
a
it.
rock or something.
Nah, you just cut it, kill it that way, or you just chop the head off.
So you chopping the head off. I get that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You go right in the fillet in that bad boy. Gut. Some people will take off the scales individually for some reason.
Individually
I saw some chef doing it. Something fancy.
with tweezers.
Mm-hmm. It seemed real dumb.
Maybe he just likes picking things. Maybe he's a scab picker.
I love picking things, and that looked like the worst thing ever.
My kids, like I got sunburnt over there a couple weeks ago, and my skin was all peeling off, and
Yeah.
they had never really seen that up close, so they were like, they did not like it, and they
Oh,
wanted to
really?
just peel my skin off. Yeah.
Oh, they
And
didn't
so
like it, but they wanted to peel it.
yeah, they didn't like seeing it half peeled. They're like, hey, I gotta peel the rest of that off. That's bothering
You got to
me. Yeah.
molt. All right. Hey, this is getting to about an hour. This is the all-time record for the podcast. I think we could probably talk for two more if we had it. Um, if you've made it this long, great job. We talked about a lot of stuff today. Mark, really appreciate you coming on and chatting with me, buddy. Hopefully, I can see you in person real soon.
Yeah, I'd like to do this in person, sitting there next to you, but we'll try to make that
Oh yeah.
happen. And I will talk to you soon. Bye, Waffle
All
One
right,
Sick
buddy.
crowd. Next time I'm
All
on,
right,
there better
everyone.
be at least 20
Oh,
people.
dude, we didn't do rapid. We didn't do rapid fire question.
You forgot. That's on you. Save it for next time.
No, we're doing it. We're doing it. No, we're doing it. We gotta do rapid fire question.
Where's the rapid part of this?
I know, man. I'm trying to think. I've got such teacher brain right now. All I could think about is students and all that stuff. Sorry. There we
Do you
go.
want
If you were an artist, what would you be?
what?
If you weren't a designer, what would you be?
You mean if it wasn't my job? If I didn't do this, I would be doing stand up comedy.
You can go one place for a week. Where you going?
Oh, geez. For a week,
Mm-hmm.
I have to be there the full week.
You have to be there for a week.
Um, Man, I think I'm gonna go with the Amazon rainforest.
Okay. Can we get a little bit more? Where are you going? Are you where in the? Are you going in the Amazon rainforest?
The edge of
What
it.
country?
I guess I'm gonna do Peru. I'm not going
The edge of it.
deep.
The
I'm not
edge of
going deep
it.
in. I'm just
Okay.
gonna get to the edge and say I did it. Yeah.
Insane. Okay. Which one is your favorite child?
um, um, okay. Next. The internet's
Uh,
forever.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. We all know that you don't like either of them very much. Um, let's think of one, a good one. Let's get a good one. Oh, favorite brother.
My brothers.
Yeah, yeah. Why, what did you think I meant?
Hey, look, I don't know. I don't know what you were inferring, but I like all my brothers. Right now, I'm talking to Matt a lot. We're talking a lot about we're hanging out a lot. So take that, Ben and Patrick, if you ever find this podcast.
Yeah, they both subscribed. I think I got. Oh yeah, last one. It's my last one. I got to think of a good one. I don't know.
These
I
are
don't know.
coming at me too quick, dude. Calm down.
I know. Well, the thing is when I had Heath and Sav on, they were both very, not the. They took a while to think about their answers, and I was like, "Come on, let's get it." And I could think, and then I just totally forgot.
And I'm just
Uh, I've got nothing.
last
All
one.
right, man.
It better not be
Four
color.
questions. Would you? Oh, what'd you say about somebody? Go ahead.
Favorite color.
No, it's lame. It's a
I don't.
lame. Oh, okay. If you had an OnlyFans page, what would be your niche?
um, I hear comedians are getting on there, so we're gonna keep it clean on that. But I tell you what, if things get desperate ever again, it's in play. I've thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, that says a lot about your
And you know
confidence.
what? And you know what? We're gonna make it artistic.
I like that. I like that. I think your niche would be walking around the neighborhood with your kettlebell in your backpack.
Ooh, that is a good call. No, it's not in the
That would
backpack,
be
baby. It's out. By the way, the kettlebell. We can end it on this, but the kettlebell workout that I did while I walked Mochi. By the way, for viewers, my dog
R.I.P.
passed away on the same week that I lost my job. But that kettlebell workout, I call it a mochi. And so I did a mochi yesterday, and it felt great. And you can do a mochi too if you want.
I
Actually,
want to do most.
I think I just found my niche. Actually,
Yeah, dude. I don't know. My OnlyFans is about doing mochi. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm selling feet pics. All right. I wish I could. I like. This is the thing. Do you know how many? You would be surprised at how many women we know. People have slid in their DMs talking about you sell feet pics.
really,
Mm-hmm.
I'm encouraging it. If you can get
I
money
am
off them
too.
feet pics, go for it, dude.
Like $500 a pop. I was like, why do you
What?
not have a page? Just have your own page. Nobody has to know it's your feet. I
All
couldn't
right.
pick a. See, I couldn't even pick my foot out of a lineup, let alone
Uh,
somebody else's.
yeah, I
I
don't spend
hate
a lot of
feet.
time. Yeah, I know you hate feet. I don't even spend time looking at them either. We can. I feel like you're pressing. I feel like you want to break an hour.
I I don't want to break an hour, but we could. I mean, I think we gotta leave the people with something for the next time. Let's do
We're
just
gonna.
like 59, 55.
Our goal is just to watch it count down for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, just
We're just
yeah. Let's just no, just quiet. Just don't even. That takes a long time.
all right, man.
I can't be silent that long. All right, Waffle Wednesday shout out time. Want to give a shout out to Revelry and their 16th anniversary. They are an awesome art gallery that support local artists, only local artists, and are fantastic. So if you're in the Louisville area, pop down to Nulu, see Revelry. Go check out Mark Paris at markparis.com.
Nope.
Not
Mo
anymore.
problem everywhere.
Mo problem everywhere. Check him out. He does these awesome 3D loops on TikTok and on
Go look at the
Instagram.
loops. Get loopy.
They're what is it, 100 million views, something like that?
Something.
Crazy, something crazy.
Something
Really
crazy.
talented artist. Does amazing elephants. That's the serious thing. And shout out to him for being on the podcast. Check out Young Beauty for all your makeup and spray tan needs. And that's it, y'all.
I could use a spray
Holla.
tan.
Yes, you could. Just get out in the sun for a second. Deuces.